Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'd just like to thank the organizers this evening for inviting me here today and making me a part of this very historic event. It's been very unusual to sit there and watch the success story being narrated via music, via dance, via video clips. As someone from the film industry, it's very unusual to attend a book function of this order. We're normally used to celebrating the success of our film, celebrating 25 weeks, 50 weeks in the olden days, and now, of course, when it crosses the 100 crore club. Or sometimes when we have award functions and you see this kind of presentation. But to have this here today in celebration for a book is indeed a historic moment for the country, for literature, for book lovers, and the people in general who are fast shifting from reading books to reading text on the network and on the cyberspace. This is a wonderful example of how having a book in your hand is still a lot more valuable than opening Google and reading a book. On mythology and what Anil Dharkar and Amish Tripathi think about it, I have very politely excused myself from that debate, primarily because I don't find myself adequate enough to be a part of this discussion. My own intellect is extremely poor, and therefore I have excused myself. I have reasons for that. When I reached 60 years, as you know, there is a very famous Hindi saying, "Jab satha, tab patha," which means that when you reach 60 years, that's the time you have actually gained wisdom and intellect and stature. I'm now 70 and I still haven't got that wisdom. But to be in the company of Amish, even though I am a Patha, is somewhat ridiculous because he is Amish Tripathi. He's 3 times the Patha.
Thank you, Amitabh. You always make things special when you're here. And Amish, thank you for having me at all your launches, right from the start. But just to give a little introduction, when Amish was not known to anyone except his family and in the banking circles, a friend said, "There's a banker who wants to write a book. Will you look at the manuscript?" My heart sank because, you know, I mean, there's so many books in the world one wants to read, and one doesn't want to read unpublished manuscripts. But I couldn't say no to this friend. The book came. I read it. I studied it diligently. I called this young man over and gave him a lot of advice. All my accumulated gyan I gave him, how to improve the book. When the book came out, I found he had not taken my advice at all.